What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Monday Night Football stream. Hope you're all having a wonderful night. See a couple of you in here already chilling out. Crazy week in the NFL. A lot of fun talking both college football playoff and the week that was in the NFL just a couple days ago. Uh, Tonight for bets, we've got the Bengals and Jaguars, of course, and Bengals without their guy, without their quarterback, Jake Browning filling in for Joe Burrow, which makes them 10-point dogs tonight. What Vegas didn't account for, however, is that they're in the white helmets. That's right. Fear the white tiger. I do like their all white looks. The white helmet I think is super slick, and with the tiger stripes on it, the black tiger stripes on it, I think it's really sharp looking. Listen, I have a hard and fast rule that I do not bet against 10-point deficits in the NFL. So I took the Bengals in the 10 points, and I know that's probably not a super popular bet to make right now, but that's what I'm on. Bengals plus 10. So let me know what you got bet. All right. Ooh. Getting set up here. All right, so quickly to third down for the Bengals here. And yeah, trying to run the ball, of course, because you got Jake Browning. Listen, it's still a really talented Bengals team. No doubt Joe Burrow is the engine, but there's just still a lot of talent there. So interested to see what they can pull together at 5-6 and maybe try to stay afloat in this playoff race. Bills are 6-6, Broncos are 6-6, and I don't feel like either of those teams is out of the race per se. So if the Bengals can get to 6-6, they're going to be in a nice little spot here. Browning picks up the first down. That's nice. Couple quick, easy throws for Browning. Ooh, look out. Flag comes down, and is the Jaguar hurt? No, it's just his shoes off. Okay. You're going to get a personal foul face mask. It looked like he grabbed it, by the back of the helmet, not the front, which is, I don't think, illegal. Okay. You can still call it when they grab the back or the opening. Interesting. Definitely, I was going to say dirty. I don't know if I want to call it dirty. Mean-spirited. A lot of easy throws for Browning to start. I didn't like the call on that one. I don't want him throwing for negative yards, right? I understand you're trying to get your guys into the game and trying to give him easy throws, but I don't necessarily want him throwing for negative yards because I don't want to end up behind the sticks like I am now. So 2nd and 13 now. For me, I would be working real hard just to get him short little 2 5-yard throws, but I want positive yards on each of my plays. so I don't have to put him in a situation where he's got to pick up a long to go. Nice little draw there. So 3rd and 7 looks like. Talking about how the Bengals have struggled to get the run game going. I feel like they have a decent run game. They just have to lean into it. Now it's going to be harder because defenses are going to be lined up for it. But he picked up like 3 yards on 3rd and 7, and it's now 4th and 4, and I'd consider going for this. They are going to go for it. I think that's a good call. 3rd and 3, you don't mind him throwing it for it, 3 or less, 3 yards, something like that. You're too far for a field goal. A punt does you really no good here. Oh, you can't hold on to it that long, though, Jake. Takes a sack. Yeah, not how I would have scripted it there. Again, I would have given him, and I'm sure they did, right? He's just kind of clutching his pearls a little bit right now. But, you want him to hit that back foot and get that ball out. Don't be worried about down or distance or anything like that. Just grip it and rip it kind of thing. So, that'll give Jacksonville the ball about midfield, and Trevor Lawrence will come out. And they're all blacks tonight. All blacks versus all whites. It's actually a decent uniform matchup. And I don't know that I've ever said that about the Jaguars, and certainly haven't said it recently about the Bengals. Um, but a good uniform matchup tonight. Who would have guessed it? Who would have guessed it? Uh, Milk, I was ready to give props to the Niners. I was all excited to talk about them, but if you don't want me to, I won't. Just ignore you. Fine with me. Uh, the Thursday night game, probably not going to stream it. The Kenny Pickett list. Uh, Mitch Trubisky led Steelers versus the Bailey Zappi led New England Patriots. I don't know. Maybe I will hop on the stream for it. Not sure yet. But man, that just sounds like a dog of a football game, doesn't it? No doubt the Bengals are going to need some plays from their defense to win tonight. And I think starting here is really the big one. Um, you put yourself at midfield. I like the defense here coming out, making a play, trying to get a little juice going, seeing if they can get the offense fired back up here. Oh, and of course, you say the Bengals D needs to come out and make. Ooh, he looks like maybe he racked himself. Poor guy. Looks like the boys might have click clacked against the thighs there. Yeah, I think he just pinched his boys there. Yeah. I mean, if he tore a groin or something like that, it would be the other reason he would reach for that area. But you hope he just kind of knocked the boys. He's down for longer than he would be if he just knocked the boys, so maybe it is more serious. All right, let's get the scores pulled up here. Get ready to talk some NFL weekend. Everybody but the Niners, unfortunately, because Milkman can't behave himself. All right, let's see scores. Okay, it all started, of course, Thursday night with Seahawks Cowboys, and that was a heck of a game. Um, the Cowboys pull it out against the Seahawks, who have now fallen to 6-6. And I was on a crusade for a while that the Seahawks were trash, and kind of backed off of it. And now I'm hating myself for doing that. Geno Smith looking like maybe he's regressed. Though he was, I got to be honest, he did deal on Thursday night when they really let him rip it. He played really well, so I guess I shouldn't be on him too much. But that Seahawks team, they went blow for blow with the Cowboys, but just not enough to get past them on Thursday night. So they fall to 6-6 and to I want to say the 8th spot in the playoffs. Let's look what we got here. I know there's a bunch of 6-6 teams in the playoffs in the NFC. So Minnesota at 6-6 and Green Bay at 6-6 occupy the final two playoff spots, number 6 and 7. The Rams at 6-6 are 8th, and then the Seahawks at 6-6 are 9th. So that loss dropped them from 6 to 9. Nice. That's tough because they still got a pretty hard schedule left. Oh yeah, Christian Kirk walking gingerly. Seahawks, their schedule left is just brutal, man. I mean, at San Francisco, Eagles at home, at Tennessee, Pittsburgh, and Arizona. All right, so you can finish the year strong there, but the next two are going to be tough, and you can't afford to have 8 losses. You probably got to pull an upset against San Francisco or Philly if you want to talk about making the playoffs. So an important week for the Seahawks here this week and next. They got to get one of these. Christian Kirk walked off pretty gingerly, to be honest. More so than I thought. So, and then the Cowboys, man. Jaguars inside the red zone, by the way. ETN with a straight run. How about that? Big week for the Cowboys, man. Cowboys, Eagles, NFC East on the line. It's going to be a big week on Sunday Night Football for the NFC and the NFC East in particular. Niners and Lions fans having to root for the Cowboys is rich, if you ask me. All right, so it's going to be 3rd and 3, 4, 3rd and 4. Third and 4, big play here. Can you hold him 3? Ooh, did you jump? No. Okay. Short. Lawrence breaks out of the pocket and scrambles and ends up short, makes it 4th and 1. And you wonder, do you go for it here? 4th and 1, you can pick up a first down. You don't have to get in the end zone. It's a long one. They're going to leave the offense out there, though. I probably kick a field goal here just because I don't know how much the Bengals are going to be able to score. But if you put a 0 on the board, they can beat that. Killed it to a sneak and got it. Nobody in the middle of that defense. It was a strange alignment for 4th and 1, to be honest with you, for the defense. And Lawrence just walked up there, killed the play they had called, and was like, there's nobody in front of me. We're just going to sneak it and pick this up. ETN into the end zone. Jacksonville on the board. And I like the coconuts on him, you know. I'm saying I probably would have kicked a field goal there, but I like the coconuts on Coach. Gabs, what's up? Where you been, man? Everything good? You all right? Worried about you. Still want to talk shit about the Colts sucking? Mister, I'm in a playoff spot? See, it's funny because with Milkman, I got to tell him to shut up because he's too full of himself. And with you, I got to tell you to shut up because you're not full enough of yourself. All right, 7-0 Jaguars. And it's already looking like my 10-point Bengal lead here. Not the best. Not the best decision on my part. Let's see, what's our next? There you go. What's our next game to talk about? Colts and Titans. Colts win it in OT 31-28. Walk-off touchdown. Hard to watch the NFL up so late. Yeah, you're what, 4 hours ahead? 5 hours ahead? It's not that late. 11 o'clock there? Come on, Gabs, get it together. Colts with a walk-off touchdown, 31-28, they win. Oh, it's only 10? Come on, Gabs. Come on, kid. What are we talking about here? Shane Steichen, Coach of the Year, Gabs says. Yeah, that's definitely on the table. I think I think a wild card spot, a wild card team in the AFC is going to have Coach of the Year. Could be Sean Payton. Could be D'Amico Ryans. Could be Shane Steichen. Like, who finishes the job, I think is going to probably win Coach of the Year. I think Mike McDaniel is probably up there too. Let's see. Who else do I think? I don't think Eagles. I don't think Niners. Mike McCarthy, maybe. Maybe Dallas Cowboys there. But yeah, I think an AFC wildcard team is going to end up winning Coach of the Year. I don't know which one. Whoever gets the job done. You know what I mean? Whoever finishes. So Colts beat the Titans. I couldn't believe that the Colts kept looking like they might give it away. I think really the Titans are just a really bad team. I really do. But they end up pulling it out, and that's all that matters. Gardner Minshew, man. How do you not love that guy? I mean, him and Josh Dobbs are the two like most rootable quarterbacks in the NFL right now. 26 of 42 for 312 yards and 2 touchdowns. Big kick return. Let's go. Um, just I think that's a hell of a stat line from Garner Minshew. Michael Pittman, 11 catches for 105 yards. There's a flag on the return. Saw DeAndre Hopkins and Will Levis getting into it a little bit. A little friendly team, John, But Hopkins ends up with 5 for 75 and a touchdown. Minshew fumbled twice, one lost. Yeah, Steelers suffer a loss to the Arizona Cardinals. We'll talk about that coming up. But the big news is Kenny Pickett not there. Lucky for them, they've got a bye this week. By that I mean they face the New England Patriots. So yeah, I don't mind that being the game plan. To be honest with you, you just got to take a shot every once in a while. Um, Joe and Troy talking about uh, quick passes kind of being the plan tonight. Get it out to Jamar Chase quick and let him create. I don't want you throwing behind the line of scrimmage because I don't want to take negative yards. And make sure you take a shot at some point. Oh boy. Oh, and they had the perfect call against it. Man, they had a jailbreak blitz coming, and when you have a jailbreak blitz, you want the screen going into the blitz. This time the screen was to the other side, but still a perfect call for it. Yeah, nice call there. And nice job by Jamar Chase. Listen, he thought he might get the ball on that screen, turns around and has to real quickly adapt to just running into his guy to block him just a little bit for Mixon to get by. Nice job by him on that. Hey, run the football. How about that? Look what we found here. But I agree, Gabs. The AFC playoffs going to be exciting as long as the right teams get in. I know you hate the Houston Texans, but they're fun. I think if the Bills are a wild card, that is fun. I really do for everybody, not just for Bills fans. But if you've got Bills Dolphins or Bills Chiefs as a first round matchup, I mean that is fun on wild card weekend, isn't it? Um, and I think the Broncos are fun too because they were so bad last year and so bad to start the season that I think it's fun to have them in there. And then, of course, like I said, Garner Minshew, one of the more rootable quarterbacks in the league. Get those jorts into wild card weekend, man. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think the AFC, I agree with you. I think the AFC playoffs are going to be a ton of fun. I think the AFC is very good this year. I could do without seeing the Browns or the Steelers in there, but we'll see. I think it was the when I looked at their two schedules. I think the Steelers had a really easy schedule going forward. Why are we running reverses? Oh, you went from second and 6 to third and 14. What are you doing? Browning should have just knocked the ball down. Milkman. Yeah, let's have a foot playoff like in. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Milkman. Um, all right, inside the 40 here. I might try a field goal. I mean, McPherson can bang him. Oh, but he was hurt, wasn't he? Is he here? No, it is McPherson. Yeah, I mean, from the 39, you you're not going to pick up a 4th and 10. Punting it does you no good. You might as well try the kick. $57. Would have been what, 52, 53 if you didn't have that double pass. Oh, I thought that went through. Hit the crossbar and bounced out. Off the front of the crossbar. That's brutal. I mean, it was a beautiful kick, just not enough juice. Okay, so we were talking about Colts Titans here. With the win, the Colts stay in that 7 spot, but the encouraging thing for them and all the teams fighting for the wild card is the two teams above them in the AFC both lost. So Pittsburgh and Cleveland both take losses yesterday. And so Indianapolis is in the 7th seed, but tied for the 5th seed uh, in a 4-way tie for 3 playoff spots. So real interesting. And some of that going to be sorted out along the way here. Um, it'll be real interesting coming down the stretch here in the AFC. I think you got 6 teams that can viably make it, and maybe a 7th if you count the Chargers. I think the Bengals are probably out, but Steelers, Browns, Colts, Texans, Broncos, Bills, and then possibly Chargers all, I think, are capable of making the playoffs this year. Um, Gab's saying the Colts have a real easy schedule on the way down. Let's see what they got at Cincinnati. Well, you know, what's real nice is that they play the Steelers and the Texans. So you can kind of control your own road there. You know what I mean? But Cincinnati should be a win without their quarterback. Pittsburgh might not have Pickett there. I don't know how bad his injury was. Then you got at Atlanta versus the Raiders and Houston at home. And who knows, that Houston at home might get flexed to a Sunday night as a win and you're in. The Jaguars, I think, are going to run away with the division here, but yeah, a lot of opportunity there for the Colts, no doubt. One thing that is tough for a lot of these AFC teams is those top 4 teams all are going to have seeding on the line coming down the stretch. Nobody is running away with this number 1 overall seed or 2 or 3 or 4. Oh, nice play. 27. Who is that? Jordan Battle. Oh, that was an excellent job. Um, so if the Browns or the Steelers have to play the Ravens are going to play because the Ravens are going to want the 1 seed. So coming down the stretch here, I think a couple of these wild card teams. Indy is done with Jacksonville, but Houston probably has to play Jacksonville. Jacksonville's going to be playing because they're going to want that 1 seed. So I think that'll affect some of the AFC. So 3rd and 5, 4, little screen pass. Milk, when's the last time you were happy to agree with anybody? Big stop for the Bengals defense there. Big stop. If you want to talk about winning this game, you can't let it get too out of control here. Nah, I don't think it was deflected. God, this is just such a good uniform matchup. Which who would have thought we were going to say that about a Jaguars game? But the all black Jags unis and the all white Bengals unis are hot. All right. Milk wants to talk about the Saints next. I don't know why, but that's fine. We can talk about the Saints next. Rob, I hate to agree with you for the first time, but the Saints suck. I mean, they had a chance to win the game against the Lions and threw it away easily. I think the Lions kind of put it into cruise control, to be honest with you, when Carr got hurt. And, you know, I think the Lions are a much better team than the Saints, but they got it done. They got the win. That's all that matters. Um, but yeah, the Saints are trash. I don't know how long we have to say it for. Unfortunately, they're trash and can still win that division, but they are trash. Hey, run the football. How about that? Yeah. A little bit of a Brock Purdy day here for Jake Browning. 8 for 8, but his longest throw is 4 yards downfield. That should probably take us to the end of the first quarter, and it'll be third and 5, 6, 4. It's not bad. I thought they lost more yards than that. Oh, they are up on the line. He wants to snap it before the quarter here. Okay. Just trying to draw him off. All right, we'll take the quarter break with him. We'll be back right afterwards. Welcome back. I just missed a conversion on third down. Jake Browning throwing it 15 yards downfield. Let's go. Jamar Chase. And that's what happens when you build confidence with those short throws over and over again. There you go, Jake. Now you had him on a roll. You have two options. One's in the flat and one's a deeper corner. And, if he doesn't have the confidence, he's just checking it down to the back. But he's got a little bit of confidence now, feeling himself a little bit, throws it deeper to the corner, pick up another first down. Let's go. Ugh. He was on a hot streak. And just a bad throw to Tyler Boyd, who was open. Don't worry, guys. We'll get to the Bills and the Chiefs and all that. You can talk as much shit as you want. Browning's just dealing right now. Into the red zone go the Bengals. And I got to be honest with you, the first three drives, they have moved the ball. Oh, not Cisco. Andre Cisco, Syracuse Orange Great. Wow, that arm is in a full cast and sling. And I don't remember it being like that. He must have had surgery on it. Maybe that came out and I just didn't see it, but he must have had surgery on somewhere on the arm. Wrist, probably. Browning again with a dart. Browning looks good, guys. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Bengals plus 10. That's what we're doing. Let's go. Running game there. Because you've thrown the ball, the creases open up in the running game, and here's Joe Mixon into the end zone. I like the celebration. All right. Okay. We see you. Well, that's not what they wanted. No, he's not down. What part of him is down? No, not even close. Yeah, that's not even close, Troy. What are you smoking? Yeah, Troy, the wrist is part of the hand. It's not rocket science. All right, what a drive from the Bengals. Didn't even have time to get to your guys' comments. Let's go through here. Gabs, I'm going to be honest with you, Rob. I like the Bills because Allen reminds me a little bit of Winston, one of my favorite players. Winston. Jameis Winston? If the Bills get there, the way this AFC looks wild, they may get all the way. Nobody wants. Everybody can talk as much smack as they want about the Bills, which haters are feeding right now, and that's fine. You have the right to, Milkman. But I promise you, if the Bills win 5 games in a row and make it into the playoffs, there ain't a single team in the AFC that's going to be like, oh, yeah, that's the matchup we want. We want to play the Bills in the wild card round. I do not care if the Bills have to play 3 road games. They are not a team that I think anybody wants to see in the playoffs. So, Milkman, of course, talking shit after that. And the Bills might keep sucking. Who knows? Who knows? Dolphins win that division. Milk, you must not have been here when we were doing the pregame show on Sunday. The Dolphins have 3 really easy games and 3 really tough games. And it's really important for the Dolphins that they don't let one of these easy games slip. Because if they don't, they're at 11 wins, and then the Bills can only tie them even if they lose their last 3. So that'll be interesting. They took care of the business on the first one. I believe it's Titans and then Jets are their next 2 easy games. And then it's Dallas, Baltimore, Buffalo. And so Dolphins just got to take care of business here. You got to beat the Titans and the Jets, and you should be able to win the AFC East. So yeah, I don't disagree with you. The Bills gave away their chance to really fight for that division when they lost to the Eagles. If they had beaten the Eagles and were 7-5 right now, looking at the Dolphins' schedule, it was still a possibility. But so yeah, that's my thoughts on Dolphins winning the division. With the Chiefs losing their last game, who do you think can win the AFC now? And the Chiefs and the Bills play this week. So, and the Bills are desperate. Bills need it. Chiefs need it too now. So it's going to be an interesting game on Sunday. Who do I think can win the AFC? I think there's a bunch of teams that can win the AFC. But who do I think will win the AFC? I really think it's going to be the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to end up with the number 1 seed. And I said it in the offseason, and I'm sticking by it now. Let's look at their remaining games. Okay. Remaining games for the Jaguars. At Cleveland versus Baltimore. At Tampa Bay versus Carolina. At Tennessee. Oh, they're putting it up on the screen right now. Yeah, I think the Jaguars are likely to be the number 1 seed in the AFC this year. But hey, man, still football, right? So here are the Bengals tied with them 7-7. Baltimore, it's funny because they are on everybody's schedule, and you look at their schedule and you're like, oh man, they still have to play the Ravens. Well, guess what? The Ravens have to play all of them. And so the Ravens have a tough schedule, man. Ravens have a tough schedule. The 9-3 Dolphins have a couple easy games, and then they finish with a tough schedule. And if the Jaguars slip, I think it's going to be Kansas City. Remaining schedule for the Ravens versus the Rams, who are in a playoff spot. Jaguars pick up a first down. Versus the Rams, at Jacksonville, at San Francisco, versus Miami, versus Pittsburgh. That's the Ravens' remaining schedule. I don't think there's any way that they get through that and are the number 1 seed. So, Interesting, Jacksonville going to the ground game here. I don't know that I perceive that as a weakness of the Bengals defense, but it might be. Bengals D's got to stand up here. Your offense just looked great driving down the field. If you can get the ball right back to him, you can be in a good position. But Jaguars are driving, bro. Ow, a holding call. It's a huge swing. They would have been on the plus 45. Instead, they're on the minus 35. Brutal. It was a hold, though. So third and seven. Big down here if they can hold, if Bengals can get the ball back to the offense after that beautiful drive. What's that, Gabs? What? You talking a little? What's going on here? What's this? You mean the Texans, right? You mean the Texans might jump up and bite them if the Jaguars throw this game away here? Is that what you meant? I love you talking a little bit of smack, but I just read you, and I'll do it again. The Jaguars' remaining schedule. Jaguars' remaining schedule at Cleveland versus Baltimore, at Tampa Bay versus Carolina, at Tennessee. Even if I'm as negative as I can be, there's 3 wins there left for them. So turn it into a third and one. That sucks. Yeah, they're not putting any DTs over that line, which makes that sneak so easy. What are you doing? Huge hole. They only have one division game left. I mean, I feel you, Yabs. I just here's the better way to phrase it, and I think getting to the same point that you want to make. If the Jaguars lose this game and all of a sudden look at the standings and say, shoot, we were talking about a number one seed. We're only one game up in the division. That's when teams who haven't been good for a long time start to panic a little bit, start to freak out. So, it's why you give teams like the Chiefs more of a benefit of a doubt. They've played those high leverage games. It doesn't matter to them. So yeah, I mean that's what I would say to buy into your something funny might happen in the division. Nice catch there from Ridley. Wow. Did he get in? Evan Ingram. My dude, there's no fans there. Why are you. Well, yeah, that's a touchdown. Great blocking. Milkman on his Joe Rogan podcast bullshit. Aaron Rodgers can come back and win the AFC for the Jets. Um, sure, that'll be the next one that we talk about. Jets lose to the Atlanta Falcons, a game that I felt like they had to have if you wanted to consider bringing back Aaron Rodgers. I think now with 8 losses and securely in 15th place in the AFC, there's no way that Aaron Rodgers steps on the field again. Um, but, whatever. Their upcoming schedule is versus the Houston Texans, loss, at the Miami Dolphins, loss. They're going to be to 10 losses before Aaron Rodgers even steps on the field, and he won't step on the field this year. Then it's Washington, Cleveland, and New England, which are winnable games, but they'll be too far gone by that point. And whenever you want to say "I told you so," Milkman, you can just pick it, because I told you they're going to be too deep in the hole for Aaron Rodgers to be able to come back and save them, and that's exactly what happened. So, but just an ugly game between the Falcons and the Jets. 13-8 is the final score. And rumor has it that the Jets want to go back to Zach Wilson at quarterback. And Zach Wilson said, I don't know that I need to go back in there. So things falling apart for the New York Jets. All right. Next game we can touch on quickly before we get to some games that mattered more. Chargers and Patriots in maybe the worst game you'll ever see. 6-0. The Chargers beat the Patriots. They covered. That's what matters. When I pick them minus 5.5 and they cover, that's all that matters. Chargers with 2 field goals on the day. They didn't even get in the end zone. It was a shitty day in New England, but that's no excuse for a grand total of 6 points getting put on the board. Bill Belichick was annoyingly Bill Belichick after that game, too. He's being a dick to people even though he's losing now, which is amazing. Gabs, how do you feel about Belichick going to the Chargers next year? Oh, that would be interesting. I don't think Bill leaves the Patriots in shambles. I have nothing to go on for that. No, nothing. But my gut feeling is that he won't leave the Patriots in shambles. So you're saying it would be a huge mistake? I mean, listen, he is a great head coach, no doubt about it. And if you give him a great quarterback, then all things are possible. So I don't know that it would be a huge mistake. They got a ton of talent on defense. God, could you imagine him coaching that defense? Derwin James and Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack and oof, man, that defense would be fierce. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's as big of a mistake as you maybe feel like, Gabs. Um, he just who is his OC coming with him? Is it Bill? If it's Bill O'Brien, that makes me a little bit less confident. What a play by Browning. He turns around with two guys in his face. He knows where his hot check down is, gets the ball out, picks up a first down. It was a heck of a job by Browning. Jake Browning is 14 of 15 for 148 yards. Oh man, Mixon almost is still running right now. What a hole. Milk, I don't think that's likely, and I think it's remotely possible. Belichick to the Bills. I know you're saying that just to troll, but I will tell you this: there are two coaches who heap praise on Josh Allen, like effusive praise, and it's Kyle Shanahan and Bill Belichick. So I don't think that's totally out of the question. But I don't think he would go in division, and I don't think the Bills are hiring or firing Sean McDermott. So, all right, third down and a big one, 3rd and 1, and I'm probably well. The head coach is the play caller, but I'm probably telling the play caller, you got 2 downs here to pick this up. I don't care if you sneak it twice, but don't fuck this up. You got 2 downs to pick this up here. Light box. No run though. Run, run, run. Oh, he checks it down to Mixon and gets it. That's beautiful. He had the room to run and pick up the first down there. 3:08 to go, and I think your goal has to be to not give the Jaguars the ball back. Oh, little end round. And Zach Taylor? Was that Zach Taylor that got blasted? Um, Gabs. Yeah, the problem is he's not flexible at all. He's going to bring his guys. He's going to demand shit. I agree with all of that, but he's got a that would give him a good quarterback. And let me tell you, old people in good weather, the LA the flip from New England weather to LA weather for the winters as he's trying to coach a football team. Um, I mean, don't forget quality of life here, you know. And if Bill Belichick goes to the Los Angeles Chargers and lives by the beach somewhere in a $10 million house, um, quality of life might go up a little bit. 3rd and 5, 2.5 minutes left. Is a big one here. Got him. Excellent job. And that's a tough throw, too. It's a long throw. And they're going to let it go to the 2 minute here, which is smart. Jaguars should be taking a timeout right here, to be honest with you. 2 minute warning? All right. Yeah, I just don't think Bill will leave the Patriots in shambles, but it'll be interesting to see what happens there at the end of the year. They are going to have a top pick. He can bring in a top tier quarterback and try to reset it because they're gonna have. Well, they might have the number one pick now. No, number two. They're gonna have the number two pick. Okay, so what game are we on now? Cardinals Steelers. Bang, called that one in on the NFL pregame show. I think it was 6.5 that I took the Cardinals plus 6.5. 24-10, the Cardinals win. The Steelers lose Kenny Pickett, and I haven't heard any news on him. Gabs, you're my NFL news guy. Um, Pickett has surgery for a high ankle sprain. Oof. Not season ending. Interesting. Well, so that means that Pickett is going to miss at least the next couple games, which will be Patriots and then your Colts, Gabs. Um, Trubisky has been named the starter in his stead. Uh, I don't think the Steelers are good. How many times do I have to say it? They've got a good defense. I just don't think they're a good team. Um, so 7-5 now, but I think they slip out of a playoff spot. I think there's just too much competition in the AFC for them. And then the last one we'll talk about before we get to halftime here: Dolphins and Commanders. And Dolphins looked exactly like the Dolphins are, man. And we've been saying it since the beginning of the year. If Tua stays healthy, if Tyreek stays healthy, that offense is just speed all over the place. Um, I love the way they look yesterday, and um, they're probably God. They have to prove it against better teams. And if they want the one seed, they're going to have to prove it against better teams down the stretch here. But yeah, they did it yesterday. And that's one, I say it all the time. One of the hardest things for good teams to do is take care of teams they're supposed to take care of. And they did yesterday, 45-15 over the Commanders. Jaguars, you going to start using your timeouts here or what? Nope, he's just going to let the clock run. Yeah, I mean, Browning's been dealing. I got to be completely honest. I don't get Peterson letting this clock tick down, though. There's only so many downs they can have. There's only, what, 7 more downs that they could possibly have. Oh, he's got him. And so if you take your timeouts there and save yourself some time, he's going to start now. I don't know why you let 40 seconds tick off the clock. I got to be completely honest with you. I don't agree with that decision from Peterson. Gabs, next year NFL's having a game in Brazil, like I told weeks ago. I don't remember you saying that, but that's cool. I mean, I dig it. I hope it's your Colts down there. That'd be a lot of fun for you. I assume they're gonna. I assume it's Rio, and I assume it's gonna be in that gigantic stadium they had the Olympics in, World Cup in. I'm much more for them not fucking with teams in time zones as much. If you send them down, if you send Miami to play Houston down in Brazil, that's like them flying to Seattle. You know what I mean? Like it's a 5 hour flight. So how long is that flight actually? I would love to know that. So with Miami to Rio de Oh, it's 8. Wow. Okay, I thought it was going to be like 5, 6 hours. So that's interesting. 8 hour flight from Miami to Rio. That's more than I thought. But you're not flipping as many time zones as you are if you go to London. So second and goal, minute 6 left. Run the football and walk into the end zone. Mixon with his second. Did they announce that it's going to be week 1, Gabs, or is that just your feeling? Because that would make sense, to be honest. I think the NFL is going to have a week eventually that is just, especially if they stick with 17 games, and maybe it's the first week of the season. It would make a lot of sense if it was the first week of the season. But I think that they're going to have, they reported it? Okay. I think they're going to have a week that's everybody plays an international game. All 16 games are international. And you'll have some in Germany and some in London and some in, but all of the games, Mexico City, Rio, you know what I mean? Um, it doesn't help their time slots, but I think they'll make a big deal of the NFL going international 1 week and call it a neutral site game for everybody, and then everybody's got 8-8 home and away for 1 year. I think they're going to do that coming up here soon. Dolphins, Jags. Um, Dolphins. See, here's the thing, man. If you pick Dolphins against a division rival, all those other teams in the AFC East are way up north. You're talking 14-hour flights down to Rio. So, uh, I would be more surprised if it wasn't like Dolphins, Houston or something. Getting ready for the Olympics in LA because they have flag football as sports for it. Yeah, yeah, Milk, and that would be a reason. Like, first week of the year, we'll put a bye week. Well, you have a bye week before the year starts. Um, First week of the year, put a game in Munich, a game in London, a game in Mexico City, a game in Rio, and do it to celebrate the Olympic Games in LA. And I think that's 2028. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Milkman. Oh, the Monday night doubleheader's back. Thank God, because that sucked. Two dog games too. Titans, Dolphins, and Packers, Giants next Monday night. That sucks. Oh, Tokyo's tough though, bro. If you expect them to play the week after the international games, Tokyo is real tough. But I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they put an extra bye week in there and just say First game of the year, everyone's going to travel across seas, and everyone's going to come back and have a bye week. Totally possible. Uh, yeah, man, Tokyo would be a tough game for him. So 104, one timeout. Oh, can Trevor Lawrence put together a field goal or even a touchdown drive here? Yeah, I agree with you, Gabs, but that's why I'm saying they would have to put like a bye week after, right? If you send everybody international, 16 international games all over the world, and you do it week one, so right after training camp, everybody flies to different places across the world. You play a game, and then you give them a bye week in the week after. Um, Helps the quality of game a little bit, I think. But got to take your time out here. I think still an underrated defensive end, Sam Hubbard. Oh, he lost the ball. Oh my God. He almost completed that. Ridiculous. 4th and 9. Do you want to take the shot and maybe give them a chance at a field goal here? Bengals, you still have all three timeouts. They're going to punt it. Oh, wow. You're at the 25 with 22 seconds left and three timeouts. Jake Browning has played great. Are you going to go try to get a field goal here? Oh, Ridley's got to catch that. It looks like they're going. I love this. Oh, now run it and see if you get a big gain. I'll take a timeout here. 5 yards is good. No, they're just going to let it go. I hate that. Oh, it would have been so much more fun if you tried to get a field goal there. 14 up at halftime. Wow. All right, so as always, you can take a little break during halftime. Go get yourself a drink, a snack, hit the bathroom. We will be back for the second half. So make sure you come back and join us. Uh, Gabs, if you go to bed, appreciate you, brother. But we will be back for the second half, y'all. All right, everybody, welcome back. Hope you had a nice little break during halftime. Excited for the second half. Been waiting to see if I can middle my bet at some point. Been hitting a lot of middles lately. It's not healthy. It makes me want to do it all the time. Line down to Bengals plus 6.5 from 10 pregame. I have Bengals plus 10. I'm looking to get on Jaguars anywhere, but there hasn't been an opportunity to do that yet. It's going to be tough because the Jaguars are going to get the ball to start here. And so we'll see, man. We'll see. Do not feel good about my Bengals plus 10. Second half adjustments do not fare well for backup quarterbacks normally. So Bengals defense is going to have to step their game up. They have been not as good as I expected them to be. But Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback. So all right, let's go. Let's get this fired up. Wow, got to catch that ball. Did he knock it away? Love Chidobe Awuzie. Think he's a good corner. 3rd and 9? Or 3rd and 1, rather? Wow, Christian Kirk not coming back. I thought he just knocked the fellas a little bit. Thought it was a little nut tap for him. But he will not come back in the game. So it must be a serious groin injury. That sucks. Hate that call. I'm going to take my speed running back and run him right up the middle on 3rd and 1. Stupid. Such a bad call. Got Trevor Lawrence, a quarterback, and a speed running back. Like, what are we doing? Line down to 4.5. Baby, we gonna get a middle? We gonna get a middle? All right, next game for us to talk about is Broncos Texans, and it matters in the AFC wildcard race. Who would have thunk it? Um, listen, those Texans I feel like are pretty good. Broncos finally had the breaks not go their way for the first time in weeks, months. Um, and I think the Broncos deserve credit for a little bit of resiliency. Uh, Even though things weren't going their way, they could have packed tents and gone home, and they didn't. Fought right to the end and were goal to go to win the game with seconds left on the clock. It was a game where I think Sean Payton got away from what he had been doing that won games. But if that's a wake up call that he needs for the second half of the season, then that's the wake up call he needs for the second half of the season. Broncos can win by running the ball and playing defense. And they decided to try to air it out against the Texans and couldn't get it done. So the Texans advanced to 7-5. They're 5-2 at home. That's amazing. Let's see their remainder of the schedule here. At the Jets, Titans at home. First Cleveland at home. I'm sorry. At the Jets, at the Titans. Then Cleveland at home. Then Tennessee at home. And then Indy. They're probably favored in 4 of those. The double dip against the Titans, always tough to beat a team twice in 3 weeks, but I think the Texans end up in the playoffs, man. I really do. Much to Gabs' chagrin. I don't think they've been balanced. I really don't. It's interesting that that's the point that Troy wants to make. I don't think that they've been balanced, but maybe it's just me. Jake Browning looks like he's feeling it a little bit. 3rd and 1, 2. It's crazy to say, but I might throw it here. That box is loaded, and they do tell him to throw it. Oh my God, to Chase for a touchdown. Oh my God. Oh, on 3rd and 2. Wow. Jacksonville plus 1.5 now. Oh, goodness me. I'm going to sit on it till I at least get a field goal for the Jags. So maybe till they punt it. But no promise that they will, of course. Could drive right down the field, score a touchdown, and tie it up. But wow. You got one-on-one with Jamar Chase. You don't. It's not hard to say pull the trigger there. Wow. How much fun was that? Let's go. Okay. Into the afternoon games as we review the NFL week that was. Panthers and Bucks. If I told you I watched any of this game, I'm a liar. I had Red Zone on and it popped up every once in a while, but I did not pay attention to what was happening with the Panthers and the Bucks. I did bet on the Panthers with the we just fired our head coach bump. Um, able to put 18 points on the board. Bucks, I just can't stand Todd Bowles. I can't do it. But they find a way to win, 21-18, still alive for the NFC South, just one game back of the Atlanta Falcons. Um, I don't know. I thought they were a better team than 5-7, but that's what happens when Todd Bowles is your head coach. Um, Panthers looking like they'll end the season with the number one overall pick. Of course, they traded away that number one overall pick to the Bears. So the Bears will probably have the number one pick 2 years in a row. And they have been officially eliminated from the playoffs. How about that? Are they the only ones? Yeah. Panthers, the only team officially eliminated from the playoffs. Um, of course, people slam that they gave up that first round pick for Bryce Young. It's still meaningful for them to finish at the top of the draft. It hurts to give away that top pick, of course, but the 33rd pick, it's not going to be exactly the 33rd pick, but the 67th pick, the first pick in each of the rounds following that matters. When you're trying to fill in depth on a team that isn't very good, having the top pick in every round, you can still get starters at the top of the second, top of the third, top of the fourth. So, that's their rebuild process there. If I'm Tampa Bay, I cannot fire Todd Bowles quick enough. You guys know how much I hate him. I think there's still a lot of talent on that team. I really do. And you sacrificed a year that could have been a playoff year here in a bad division because Todd Bowles sucks. So. All right, Jaguars coming back now. And when you're a good team like this and you've given a bad team or a inferior team life, you gotta quell the rebellion right now. You know what I mean? You gotta drive right down and score. So Milkman jumps in the chat for the first time in 30 minutes and says, "What about the Bills?" Who was talking about what about the Bills? What do you want? Yeah, big gainer. Jags up to the 40 now. Nice tackle. Who was that? Oh, Hilton. Milkman, I know you like to talk shit, but what? That's not even talking shit. You just said, "What about the Bills?" Like that's not what. That doesn't. You didn't even say anything. You like to talk shit, but you're not particularly good at it. Deep shot. And now you're in 3rd and 12. I don't know that I love taking a deep shot there, but so this is where I'm going to be looking for my middle. If the Jaguars end up punting the ball here, must pick this up here. Oh, yeah. I'll be 5 free ones. So 3rd and 12 turns into 3rd and 7, which is a big deal. Jags pick it up. Ten minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Just so you guys know where I am. Big first down here. You pick up the first down, you're in field goal range. Oof. Battle with a hit. Third and 1. Here we go again. And you're, oh God, you're close enough probably for a field goal. I don't know that I would try it on 4th down. I really want to pick this up if I'm Jacksonville. I don't want to have to make this decision. Where's he end up? 34? Yeah. Mental health guy, welcome in. Pitch play. There you go. There's your first down. Line back up to Bengals plus 2.5. Mental health guy. If you're a Packers fan, how do you feel about Jordan Love? I'm not a Packers fan, but I can tell you how I feel about Jordan Love if you want. There was a point when the Packers were 3-6 or whatever they were, and nice play by the Bengals D there. 5-yard loss. There was a point where I was ready to give up on Jordan Love, and I think most of the Packers fan and their front office was too. But you said, our season's lost anyway. We're going to let him play out the rest of the season, and whatever he is, and then we'll figure out what we want to do next year. All of a sudden, as you've played out the string here, Jordan Love has looked fantastic. I shouldn't say fantastic. Has looked good. Man, what a throw by Trevor Lawrence. Show me that throw again. Oh, what a throw by Trevor Lawrence. Jacksonville inside the red zone. 1st and 10 on the 15. So back to Jordan Love, you say, "Oh, we're just going to play out the string with him and see what happens." And then as you start to play out the string, he starts playing better. Listen, they've got a real shot to make the playoffs. The rest of their schedule is very friendly, and they're in a playoff spot right now. Let's see their remaining schedule here. At the Giants, Bucks at home, at the Panthers, at the Vikings, and then Chicago at home. Like that's four. There's 4 wins easy there. So I think the Packers end up making the playoffs. Oh, almost a pick. Is that Battle again? Oh no, Hilton. So yeah, I mean, I think the Packers end up making the playoffs here, and don't get me wrong, they'll be cannon fodder for the Eagles or the Cowboys or the Niners or the Lions. They'll be cannon fodder for somebody, but Jordan Love might have saved his job for next year, and if he finishes the job here, might have saved his starting spot next year. So wow, Jags burn a timeout there, and Trevor Lawrence is pissed, but you got to know that you're the team that's trailing right now. Like you cannot burn timeouts like that. You might need them at the end of the game here. Next game we have to talk about is Browns and Rams. But it looks like they're not going to go to commercial here, so we'll save that. 3rd and 9 for the Jaguars in the red zone. Oh, did he catch that? Get out. Get out of town. First of all, it should have been a pick. Second of all, Parker Washington's making himself some money. Does he get the knee down? Knee is down. Oh, but he doesn't have. Nope, that's not a touchdown. He does not have control until his ass touches out of bounds. That is not a touchdown because he juggles it right there. Milk thinks it's a touchdown. He has more control over it than I thought he did when he bounced off the ground. It's going to be hard to overturn, to be honest with you. This is the angle right here. Does he have control of it right there? Or does the ball slide out of his hand? Confirmed. There you go. Hell of a catch. What a job. Wow. What a game we got going on here. 21 up. Line is Bengals plus 3.5 right now. Jaguars minus 3.5 is even money. It's a 7-point middle, but I don't think I'll take it. Money line is Jaguars minus 210. Bengals plus 165. All right, next game is Browns and Rams, and Joe Flacco showing signs of life, which is just absolutely shocking to me. But we've said with that Browns team a lot of times, you don't need excellent quarterback play for that team to be dangerous. They've got a fantastic defense and a great running game. And Joe Flacco, this game was not 36-19. If you didn't watch, this game was 19-20, and the Rams scored 3 times in garbage time to make it look like a blowout. It was not. The final score really was probably 27-19, but it ends up being 36-19. Browns 2 losses in a row, 3 losses in a row, reeling a little bit. 2 losses in a row. And I think they are also going to fall out of the playoff race. I really think the 2 teams that are in there that are going to fall out are the Steelers and the Browns. Browns' upcoming schedule is versus Jacksonville, versus Chicago, at Houston, versus the Jets, at Cincinnati. So there's a couple wins in there for them. Now that I'm looking at it, if they lose to Jacksonville, lose to Houston, that last game, they'll be probably 9-7 going into that last game and need to beat Cincinnati to make the playoffs, most likely. Could be interesting, but I just I feel like they're gonna fall out. On the other side, the Rams have looked great since Matt Stafford came back. Makes you wonder what they would look like on the year if he was healthy all year long. As is, they are 6-6 and in that 4-way tie for the final 2 playoff spots in the NFC. The top 5 are the top 5 and probably going to stay the top 5, with the exception of the Atlanta Falcons and whoever wins that NFC South title. But somebody asked the question, one of you, maybe Milk, maybe Mental Health Guy, one of you asked the question, are all the teams in the NFC that are in the playoffs the teams that are going to be in the playoffs a couple weeks back? Turns out the answer was no, and didn't see it coming myself either. Vikings at 6-6 in the 6th spot. Green Bay at 6-6 in the 7th spot. Then there are the Rams there at 6-6 in the 8th spot, and the Seattle Seahawks at 6-6 in the 9th spot. Seahawks have a real tough road. I don't think that they make it. They've got a brutal schedule coming up. As far as the Rams, they're at Baltimore, versus Washington, versus New Orleans, at the Giants, and at the Niners. So probably 2 losses there, which would put them at what, 7-10? No, 8-9. So you probably have to, if you're the Rams, maybe you get in at 8-9 or 9-8, but you probably have to steal a game you're not supposed to win. Maybe it's against San Francisco at the end of the year. If they've already got their playoff positioning sewn up, maybe that's the one that you can steal and get you to a 10th win. They've got 3 very winnable games there, though, with Washington, New Orleans, and the Giants. It's going to be the Baltimore and the San Francisco games. They're going to have to find one. Oh, my God. What are you doing? Tyler Boyd just gave this game away. Tried to get cute with a double pass, and Tyler Boyd threw it right to a guy. Wow. You take a great game from Jake Browning and put him in that position by letting Tyler Boyd throw a ball. Bro, just run. What are you doing? Throw it away or run the ball, man. You had nobody in front of you. Like, if you watch that replay of Tyler Boyd, he looks downfield, and when he looks downfield and Chase is covered, if you look at where he is, he could have easily picked up 5 yards and just called it good. Man, that is brutal. Stop on 1st and goal for the Bengals offense or Bengals defense. If the Bengals can hold to a field goal here, it is absolutely massive. Nice hit. Who is that? DJ Turner. I have no idea who you are, but that was a hell of a hit to save a touchdown and make it third and goal at the 1. And like I said, if you can hold them to a field goal here, it feels like a huge win. Excellent job. Oh, they stopped him. Oh. All right, so if I'm Doug Peterson, I'm going. You're fourth and goal inside the 1 here. I want Jake Browning taking snaps inside the 1 if I miss this. Why are you running ETN up the middle? Like, it's not his thing. You have Dearness Johnson. What are you doing? Oh, did he get across the goal line originally? He does. Well, listen, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the Bengals' ball either way if he didn't make it across that line, but the replay will tell us. Just barely. Sure does. Twenty-eight, 21. Wolf, Tyler Boyd. Wolf. Oof. All right, let's see what the line is now. Bengals plus 7.5 is the line now. Man, money line is plus 500. If that doesn't make me want to put $1 on this, I don't know what does. Bengals money line. Well, listen, Jake Browning has looked good all night, uh, but now he hasn't thrown a meaningful pass here in a long time, which I hate. Uh, so to ask him to go back out there and now lead a touchdown drive is a lot to ask. It really is. Milkman, do it. So I like to I bet like pretty much $5 on everything. Like I'm not a big better. I bet often. I don't bet a lot of money. Um, so one of the things I like to do is keep my account at like an even number. So right now I've got to get it to an even 5. I've got $2.55 that I could throw away just to get it back to even. Um, so Bengals plus 500. If I put $2.55 on it, is $15 I win. But not yet. If it goes up a little more, maybe. But we'll see. So Rams, listen, a very young team, and impressed with what Sean McVay is doing with them. Um, when they came here, and I've mentioned this a couple times, they came here and had joint practices with the Broncos, and it was like Aaron Donald and Matt Stafford, and I didn't know anybody else on the field. So impressed with what they're doing at 6-6. Um, I would be excited if they got found a way to get in. I can do without Seattle making it. I like Minnesota with Josh Dobbs, Vikings, Packers, Rams. I'd probably pick Vikings and Rams in if I had my choice, but that's just for fun. Cup was on IR. He had that hamstring, and he had surgery, so he wasn't here for the joint practices. But yes, he is still there. I think he had surgery back home in Minnesota on that hamstring. Oh boy. Oh boy. What a game. He's got a little bit of juice. I dig it. Yeah, but I didn't know who he was at the time, Milkman. But yeah, Puka Nakua has been excellent for most of the season, especially for a 6 round pick. 2:33 left in the third is where I'm at. Doing it again. 17 runs, 24 passes, and two of the passes by wide receivers that have cost you your positioning in this game. Oof, that's going to be a flag, isn't it? Third and 7. Browning making a change at the line. Oof. Oh, it was a screen and it was blown up. It's going to be a holding call, I think. Ineligible downfield. Don't love a screen call there. From the 42, they're punting. Don't love that. Washington a little bit too full of himself after getting a couple catches and a touchdown. Oh, God, that was what the Bengals needed right there. Hi, go Jags. All right, well, if you're the Bengals, you got to ask your defense to make a play here. This has got to be them. Do not let them flip the field. Do not let them score. Last play before the quarter here. And we'll end it with them picking up a couple yards. A 3rd and 4 coming up. And a huge one. If the Bengals can stop them here, get their offense good field position coming back, it'll be big for the start of the 4th quarter here. But we will take the commercial break with them. We'll be right back for the 4th quarter. All right, everybody, welcome back for the 4th quarter. Excited, man. What a game we got going on here. Big play for the Bengals. Can they get a stop and get their offense the ball back in decent field position here? False start. That's huge. Turns a 3rd and 3 into a 3rd and 8. I still love the everybody but the center calls. Third and 8. Can we get a stop? Make this a real football game here. Give us a fun 4th quarter. And now a delayed game. Oh, man. You only get 25, Trevor. Oof. It was tight. Taking a shot, and he's got him. Oh, overthrew him. Fourth and 13, so now he's punting from the shadow of his own goalpost. And if you're the Bengals, this is your spot, man. This is your chance to tie it up. should have good field position here. Whatever you do, don't let this ball bounce and roll. Fair catch it. Oh, you have enough room to just take it. Yeah, you're at the 48 inside Jags territory. Only a 30-second commercial here. We can't talk about our next game. That's too bad. Uh, I still feel like Browning has been excellent tonight. I still trust him to run the offense. So I don't think you need to just pound the rock, but that is what the commentators are advocating for. Again, I don't want him throwing balls behind the line of scrimmage, but I don't mind 3 5 yard throws here. What are you doing? And an automatic first down. Wow. It's a passable call. It's a great way to get the ball to Jamar Chase. Nice job by Browning. Getting chased by 2 Jaguars. Keeps his poise. Oof. Nice job by Mixon getting that first down. And I'm at 12, 52, 51, 50 of the fourth quarter, so people know where I am. Big moment here for the Bengals if they want to try to win this game. Lose 2 on 1st down. That's tough. Again, you don't want to be behind the sticks with, your backup quarterback. But I mean, he's been good tonight, so let me shut my mouth. Nice throw to Boyd. All right, so the question is, if you don't pick this up, are you kicking a field goal here? I think I am. I'm not turning down any points if I'm Zach Taylor. Tell me if you would. Oof, Higgins was open. 3rd and 2, 3. Yeah, it wasn't a great spot. Oh, catch the football. You can't do that to a backup quarterback. You need your guys to be guys. Oh, Jamar, catch the football, bro. He's gonna go. I would kick it. I'm not turning down any points here. He makes up for it. Jamar Chase to the 2. I've loved the aggressiveness of Zach Taylor. I wouldn't have been that aggressive there. Did he get in? Oh, I don't know if he was short. That's a touchdown. He's in. He's in. He's on top of bodies. He's leaning backwards. That is a touchdown. Throw the flag. He's going to just go with it. Say, I got 3 more downs to score a touchdown. I don't love that. Did he fumble? Did he fumble that ball, though? Nope, he had the football. Yeah, it looked like he was trying to reach down to pick up the ball, like he had fumbled it, but he wasn't. He was just biding his time. Man, that's tough. Yeah, Jake Browning's making himself some money tonight. 28 up. All right, so it's Bengals plus 3.5, plus 185 on the money line right now. Whew. All right, should we give it to him, folks? What do you think? Yeah, we'll talk about it. I was all excited to talk about it, and you had to come in and make me not want to. Eagles, Niners. The game of the week that wasn't the game of the week. Niners looked awful in the first quarter. And I was only half watching. I was doing the Broncos post-game show. But they put up a stat that was the two teams in the first quarter, and I believe the Niners had -6 yards. And then by the time I got home, it was 14-6. Niners scored 2 touchdowns in every quarter following that. 42-19 ends up being the final. And just a beatdown of the Eagles. I think the Niners asserted themselves as the best team in the NFC. All that hoopla that went on with a 3-game losing streak, I don't know where their heads were at, but they let 1 loss turn into 2 kind of thing. 2 losses turn into 3. I give credit to John Lynch for going out and making a big trade. Chase Young has been good and impactful, but not even that. Just to tell your team, we are Super Bowl contenders and we are get your heads on. And so I love that move from Lynch to say, we don't care about mortgaging nothing. We are here to win a Lombardi. That's what we're here for. The Niners are a ton of fun. They are a great football team. They have playmakers all over the defense. They have playmakers all over the offense. And I think they're the best team in the NFL right now. I also think they're the best team in the NFC. I think it was very important for them, and still is, over the remainder of the season, to not have to play 2 road games in the playoffs. They were in a situation where they might have had to go to Detroit and then go to Philadelphia. They have put themselves in a better standing for that now. They need to find a way to make sure that they have at most 1 playoff game on the road in the playoffs. I think it'll be tough for them to get the number 1 overall seed, but I think it's still there for them. So, really impressed by the Niners. Don't want you to tell me about Brock Purdy. Not interested in hearing it. He was really good again. I think he's a really good quarterback. The people that want to put him in the MVP list, I will always have the argument that I have, and I think it's just, regardless of if he is playing at an MVP level or not, he's not going to win one. Oh, nice throw by Trevor Lawrence. He's not going to win one because he's not even the best player on that offense. He's not. And that's not a knock on him. There are some incredible players on that offense. I just, so all the people who say, oh, put him on your MVP list, blah, 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 all this stuff. I just don't even think it's remotely a possibility. But I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't think it's smoke and mirrors. I do think that Shanahan helps make him better than he really is. But I don't think it's smoke and mirrors. I think he's a good quarterback. And so that's my take. I think the Eagles have been getting away with a lot lately. They could have lost to the Chiefs, and this is not me being a homer, should have lost to the Bills. They should have. And they found a way to pull those games out of their ass. So they were kind of due to eat one, and they absolutely did. The problem is now you put yourself in a situation where you also you now have a game against Dallas that can drop you to the 5 seed if you lose. And that is crazy considering where they've been. Automatic first down for the Jaguars here. I didn't see what was the call? Oof. Ooh. That's the penalty? That's a makeup call from something. Jaguars in field goal position. A lot of time left. 7:37. A lot of football left here. Whistles again, man. You think Milkman? You think Purdy had a really impressive game against the Eagles? Because again, I like him a lot, but how many of those throws were 5, 10 yard throws that end up going for touchdowns? Debo Samuel breaking a couple tackles, benefiting from a hold. CMC getting the ball and going with it. And that's why I don't think he'll win MVP. He's real good. I don't think he'll win MVP. I don't think that's a harsh statement to make. So, Super Bowl performance game. Like he performed like he would in the Super Bowl? I don't know what you mean by that. That's crazy that the Jaguars are down to one timeout. Nice job by the Bengal defense. That is flying. Third and 10. Big here if you can hold them to 3. That ball came out. Is that a Jaguar that has it? Yeah. All right. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, he got stepped on. Damn, that looks like it hurt. And then his leg folds underneath him, too. Damn. Well, I mean, at best, that's a high ankle sprain, right? At worst, him getting his leg folded under him like that could have popped more than one thing, and you hope everything's intact in that ankle. I've had a high ankle sprain before, and when I went to the doctor, he said you would have been better off breaking it because it is going to take forever to heal. That is his push-off leg. So obviously we don't know what the injury actually is, but that's just tough. That's real tough. Kenny Pickett had a high ankle sprain and had surgery on it today. So if that don't tell you, I don't know what will. Man, that sucks. Hate to see that. All right, let's Jaguars the rest of the way. At Cleveland versus Baltimore, at Tampa Bay versus Carolina, at Tennessee. I mean, if you're just talking about making the playoffs, you can give them the next 3 weeks off and bring them back Carolina and Tennessee, win 2 games and get in. Well, let's hope it's not serious, man. That is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Okay, and then our last game of the weekend to talk about. Let's see. Kansas City and Green Bay. If I told you Kansas City scored 19 points, you'd call me crazy. He's at least putting weight on it. Yeah, jeez. Yeah, and Hubbard tried to pick him up. 4th and 18, and that and he missed it. Oh my God! Talk about the air out of that stadium. Holy ghost! 'Damn. All right, so if you're looking at lines, Bengals now -2.5 for -175. Jaguars +2.5 for +135. Jaguars money line is +160. I'm gonna stay away from it. I got Bengals +10, and I might just sit on my winning ticket here. Um, it's not guaranteed to cash, but it's looking pretty good right now. He's at least putting weight on it, just not much. And I'll tell you what, I mean, when I had that high ankle sprain, it felt like a break. Like I went directly to the hospital, and I really thought I broke my ankle. Um, so provide a little hope for Jaguars fans there in that way. It can be just as painful as a break. So we'll see. Jake Browning with his legs. And listen, they're talking about C.J. Beathard, who is Trevor Lawrence's backup right now. What is the reason this is so remarkable? What Jake Browning's doing is you can't expect this out of your backup quarterback, especially not a guy who's not taking any reps. Like if he used to be a starter in the league and just an old man hanging around, okay, you can kind of expect this. Young guys who just don't get the snaps, man. Like Beathard, I think he started a few games for the Niners, if I remember right. Actually, Milkman, you can probably help with that. I think Beathard started a few games for the Niners 3-4 years ago, but um, it's going to be asking a tall task. Come in the waning minutes of the fourth quarter and win a game here. He did. He was shit, to be honest. Yeah. Damn. Hate to see that, man. You really do. Mix in with a run that puts you into field goal range here. And just game wise, Jaguars only have one timeout. So you can just pound the rock here and try to eat as much time as you can. I would still be aiming for a touchdown here. I would not be settling for a field goal. But you can eat as much time off this clock as you want. Ain't nothing they can do about it. Not if you keep picking up first downs anyway. Well, Browning's angry, like he was expecting the snap there. Oh God, why? How is Josh Allen your free unblocked guy? How does that happen? Just awful. I don't care if you're sliding to. You picked the inside guy. Yeah, but the guard should be taking the inside guy, and the tackle should be kicking out. Ain't no way you're leaving Josh Allen unblocked there. Brutal. I don't love wasting the time out there either. You might need these timeouts to save yourself time here because you are no longer in scoring range. Oof, I don't know if this is close enough for me to send McPherson out there. 54 yards, 3 yards closer than when he hit the crossbar. Nailed it. Wow. What a game. All right, our last game, Chiefs Packers. Listen, we talked about Jordan Love. I think mental health guy brought him up. He's played good. I don't think he's played great, but he's played good. Uh, the run game has been better. Their defense has been better. It's been a total team effort from the Packers. Very young team. So to say that they're going to win games that they should win for the rest of the season and make the playoffs is a little bit of a leap. But damn, they look good last night. Just lining up with the Chiefs and going blow for blow. Really impressed. The Chiefs are human, man. What's really frustrating is about the Chiefs being as human as they are this year is I don't know that there's a team to take advantage of it. The Ravens look good. They got a tough schedule through the end of the season. They always seem to fade off at the end of the season. We'll see if they can hold it and keep moving forward. Dolphins have yet to beat a good team. They're beating up on bad teams. That's okay. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat. But they got 3 games at the end of the year versus good teams. So we'll see if they hang in there. Jaguars might have just lost Trevor Lawrence. Bengals have lost Joe Burrow. The Bills have been playing like dick. Um, the Chiefs look more human than they have in years and still might get out of the AFC because nobody is able to step up and take it away from them. And that is frustrating, I guess I would say. Mental health guy concerns moving forward for the Chiefs or just a rough patch like they usually have. They don't usually have a rough patch like this. I got to be honest with you. They'll have a loss here or there. They don't have a rough patch like this. Yes, I think there are concerns moving forward. I think their best left tackle is over penalized and that they're hesitant. They're trying to figure out what to do with him. They rotate him in and out because they can't afford all the penalties that he takes. But their offensive line isn't good when he's not in there. So that's a problem. Their wide receivers are a problem, flat out. And oh no, did CJ Beathard just fumble that football? Their wide receivers are a problem, and I think the injuries on defense are catching up with them. Um, They're going to be down 2 middle linebackers. Nick Bolton should be back soon, but Tranquil, I think, will be out for a little bit. Yeah, man. Trouble. Is Beathard hurt? It's his non-throwing hand. Interesting. So yes, I do think the Chiefs have actual problems. Um, can Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes lift them over those problems? Yes. Have they only scored 19 points? Did they only score 19 points? Yeah. Like, I think the Chiefs have legitimate problems. If you look at their losses, the Chiefs scored 19 against Green Bay, 17 against Philly, 9 against Denver, and 20 against Detroit. They have games where they put up 31, 40, but that's against the Bears, the Chargers. They also have wins like against Jacksonville, they put up 17. Against the Jets, they put up 23. Against Denver, they put up 19. Against Miami, they put up 21. So, yeah, I think it's legitimate problems that the Chiefs have. I don't think this is just a rough patch. And listen, the rest of their schedule lightens up after this week. They get the Bills in Arrowhead this week. That is going to be a heck of a game because both teams need it. I got to be completely honest with you. Both teams need it. It's going to feel a lot like a playoff game. But then they're at New England versus Las Vegas versus Cincinnati, which maybe Cincy's tougher than we think, and at the Chargers. I think there's still plenty of wins there for them. They'll win the AFC West. But Patrick Mahomes might have to go on the road for the first time in his playoff career. I think they have legit problems. I really do. So it'll be fun to see, man, what happens. As far as the Packers go, we've highlighted a couple times how they are tied in a 4-way tie for the last 2 playoff spots, and they've got an easy road ahead. I think it's likely they make the playoffs, but it'll be interesting to watch that develop as we go through the end of the season here. They have a real soft schedule. The hardest team they play is Minnesota, and the other 4 are winnable. So. Last 2 minutes, here we go. Beathard with a deep shot. Could have been OPI. You can't punt it because you don't have timeouts. So you got 2 drives or 2 downs to pick up a yard here. I might sneak it twice. And you're about 20 yards away from field goal range after that completion. You got your 1 timeout. Checking it down. Smart. Beathard, little shaky to start, but making some good decisions here. 120 to go. Mental health guy. Could you also make the case the Chiefs have the most room for error, even though points are down? They were in all those games and could have won. Yeah, they could have because their defense has been playing excellent, and they are in field goal range now. Can they score a TD to win it? Wow, I did not expect this from CJ Beathard. Nice job. I think the Dolphins have the most room for error, to be honest with you, in the AFC. Yes, they were in all those games. Did he step out? You're going to have to review that, right? I think he stepped out of bounds. No? Clench your cheeks time. Oh, you can't do that, CJ. They decide to burn their timeout there. Because theoretically, you've got you would have had to take your timeout and just kick the field goal. So on third down, you can take a shot to the end zone. Even if you complete it short, you've got time to get up and spike. Um, and then you maybe got one more, two more tries to the end zone before you kick the field goal. Yes, the Chiefs were in all those games. They were in all those games because their defense was really good. They lost starting safety last night. They lost their backup linebacker, Drew Tranquil, who had been playing really well in Nick Bolton's absence. I don't know if Bolton is going to come back. He had, I think, a dislocated wrist. So it had been about 4 games. He will come back at some point during the season. But the Chiefs, I do think they have legitimate problems. Now you got to run the field goal unit on there. Who took a time? Wow. Why would you not make them fire sale that? Wow. It might have been an issue, Troy. I don't know. I don't know that I'm so sure it wouldn't have been an issue. You're trying to save Browning 30 seconds and one timeout, I think. Yeah, give CJ Beathard a ton of credit. I mean, that is very impressive. 31 up, 26 seconds, and you got one timeout. God, if I'm Cincy, I feel fine going into OT. Like, it's tough. Yeah. Um, that's, I think Troy's asking the question that I'm thinking myself right now. If you get the ball at the 25, you really want Jake Browning taking some shots here? Or are you confident that you can stop CJ Beathard in overtime and you will um, try to get to overtime and stop CJ Beathard and say Jake Browning can win it in overtime, you know? Run it, see if you pop it. It's probably what I would do here. See what they do. Yeah, run it, see if you pop it, which you do. Timeout. No, they're going to change that to 20 seconds left. Yeah, 20. Yeah, now so you're on the 43. You need 10 more yards to at least let them just kick it, right? So now you got to hit some sort of out route, something like that. But if you throw a pick, it's not an automatic field goal for them, which is why your mind changes about what you do. Got to get out of bounds. Nice job. Excellent job by Mixon. Able to stay on his feet and get out of bounds. Gosh, you got to get to the 45 to really try it? Oh, and that'll do it. That'll send us to overtime. If you could have gotten a clean hurdle there, might have made it to the sideline. Would have been a race. Wild. What a game. While I cash Bengals plus 10. Whew, that Jacksonville water girl. What's up? Yeah, nice shot. Let's give credit to two backup quarterbacks here. I mean, honestly. It's hilarious that they have to explain this because people don't know the freaking rules. Drives me crazy. Jacksonville wins the toss, takes the ball. I I mean, I understand because you can win it with a touchdown, but I still against a backup quarterback. Man, do you want to know what you need CJ Beathard to get? Do you want to give him 4 downs every time down the field? Either way, if you give up a touchdown, you're in trouble. Right? You can't have it. So why not let them start with the ball and then give CJ Beathard 4 downs? Because they kicked the field goal. You know, I might have kicked in that situation. But coaches just have these things. They do it the same way every time, no doubt. And maybe that was what Doug Peterson. That's just what he does. Popeyes wings? Are they breaded? Come on, Popeyes. I'm a Buffalo kid. We don't bread wings. I don't mind fried chicken. Don't get me wrong. I just all right. I mean, listen. If you're Cincinnati, this is all about your defense, right? Plain and simple. C.J. Beathard should not have two game-winning drives on you. So you got to do better than that, and you got to shut him down here and make it so Jake Browning only needs to get a field goal to win. If you're the Jaguars, I really think your mindset needs to be uh, easy throws for C.J. Beathard. That's how he drove him down the field on that drive. Easy throws. And that's what they start with. A little swing pass to start. Just easy. Let's not overdo it here. We're talking about C.J. Beathard. I also think overtime quarter should be 15 minutes. Every quarter you play is 15 minutes. Why wouldn't the overtime quarter be 15 minutes too? It's time for two possessions. The 10 minutes is time basically for two possessions. It's ridiculous. Same thing. Little easy throw. Swing pass, check down, and unfortunately, you're not able to slip a tackle in either of those cases and put you in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7. Got him. Can C.J. Beathard save the Jaguars season? I don't think they have to win this game to save the season, but C.J. Beathard is 6 of 7 for 58 yards. That is wild. About 10 yards away from field goal range. But you need a touchdown to win the game. Excellent blitz. Hilton off the corner. Fantastic blitz. Put you back on the other side of the 50. What a blitz. And now I just play coverage if I'm Cincy, even though that hasn't gone too well for you. 3rd and 7. 6. is that a hold? Yeah, that's a hold, though. That's so funny. They showed this hot girl just screaming her brains out. She was so excited, and then they cut back to her going, "What?" That was pretty funny. Nice catch by Ridley. 3rd and 17. Yeah, that's not going to do it. So we got to talk about what a tie does for each team now. I think it hurts the Bengals, to be honest, because they already have 6 losses. I think it helps the Jaguars with only 3 losses. It's going to make it hard for a team to match them in the loss column. But only 5 minutes in overtime left now. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Jaguars are content with a tie at some point during this overtime. Interesting choice by Mixon, but he got there. 4 minutes, 55 seconds. Oh, did he hold on to it? He bobbled it, and it looks like he held on to it. Man, Jake Browning. Yeah, I. Oh, he dropped it. He actually dropped it. And if the Jaguars defender doesn't slap that ball, it falls incomplete. Throw it away. 2nd and 10. So it goes, this catch from Chase, the ball goes through his hands. And if, wow, no, it's not the Jaguars defender. That was his head. Whew. Wow. Jailbreak. He gets the screen out, though. Good coverage from the Jaguars. You're in 3rd down now. And that's what you want, right? You want to have that screen pass called right into the blitz. And the Jaguars still did a good job to get a stop. Could have been a huge play. What a job by Browning. Just a stick throw. Jake Browning is making himself some money tonight. These are the kind of games that get you contracts to be backup quarterbacks for a long time. 3 minutes and 12 seconds, and if you are not content with a tie, if you're the Jaguars, you got to think about saving time. Yeah, you're right, mental health guy. AFC playoff race definitely getting tighter. Whole lot of ways. If this is a Jags loss, they've got two teams at 7-5, one game back from them, and the Bengals move up to 6-6. Yeah, this playoff race can get a whole lot tighter. Quick throw to Chase. Nice job. Say he stepped out. Didn't step out there. Oh, I think that's a first down. Yeah, they're going to look at it. So his foot gets dragged out of bounds. And when it does, oh, they call the timeout. When his foot gets dragged out of bounds, I think the ball is by the first down line. I think you got to respot this. I don't think he's out there. Oh, maybe he is. Yeah, your unofficial review finally. I think they're going to say there's not enough to overturn it, but because if not, it's right there, and that might be a first down. Yeah, Joe making the point. If he's not making the out of bounds with the heel, he's it's a first down. Damn those Jake Browning numbers. 32 of 37 for 353 yards and one touchdown. Good for him, man. Because that's, like I said, that's the kind of game that gets you paid to be a backup quarterback for a real long time. Caleb Haney. That's the name that comes to mind, right? Uh, Chase Daniels. Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason it could be taking so long is that they are going to move the football. But yeah, I mean, your sneak it range from here, but I just don't know if that's a strength of Jake Browning's. Looked like he was a little uncomfortable sneaking it by the goal line. Yeah. Ref comes in and says, "Nope, that's not quite right." Mixon gets it. Off topic, but does Carolina have to only view offensive QB centric coaches because of Bryce Young? Um, you ready for this? I've been debating if this is something that I want to say or not for a week now. You calling Nick Saban? Tired of the NIL landscape? Um, Tepper has money to blow. He's got Bryce Young at quarterback. The only tarnished part of his record is his NFL head coaching stint. Are you calling Nick Saban? Still in the South, in Carolina. Give him full control. Tepper's got enough money to do whatever the hell he wants. And a defensive guy, not an offensive guy, Saban. But I just think it's not out of the realm of possibility that with Bryce Young already in camp, you call Nick Saban and say, "Do you believe in your guy? Then come be my guy." In terms of QB centric coaches, listen, any defensive coach that walks in there is going to have their coaching staff put together, which is a normal thing, and they're going to have an impressive name on the offensive side of the ball. So whoever comes in there, and you can think about it also in terms of the offensive coaches who are out there that might get fired, uh, and then maybe come in as a offensive coordinator. Um, I don't think Dable gets fired, but that's a name that comes to mind. Let's look at the standings real quick. Coaches that could be fired: Josh McDaniel, but I think his offense has been awful. I think that'd be a huge mistake. Um, but if you're a defensive head coach, you got to come in with a name like that, right? Like, hey, I'm a defensive head coach, but my offensive coordinator is going to be Josh McDaniels. Vrabel's not getting fired. Saleh might get fired. But he's a defensive guy. Staley is a defensive guy. He might get fired. Vegas Raiders. We already mentioned McDaniels. Todd Bowles might get fired. He's a defensive guy. Dennis Allen might get fired. He's a defensive guy. Dable, I don't think gets fired, but he is a name. Eberflus, a defensive guy. He's gonna get fired. Ron Rivera might get fired, but he's a defensive guy. Jonathan Gannon's not going to get fired, and Frank Reich already did. So yeah, it's not like there's a ton of names here that I like. The offensive head coach has run dry. They have sucked that thing dry, if you ask me. Man, I don't like 3 straight run calls there. Like, hey, we're good with a 47-yard field goal. Um, so yeah, the offensive to me has run dry. I got to be completely honest with you. But if you're a defensive head coach going into Carolina, you have to have an impressive name as your offensive coordinator, no doubt. Bengals win. Wow. Wait, flag? Wow. What a win for the Bengals. Jake Browning says Cincinnati's season not over yet. And at 6-6, they float themselves back into the playoff picture. Absolutely amazing. Let's see if this updates. I want this ESPN page to update immediately. Because right now the Bengals are in the 11th spot at 5-6, but now they'll be tied with the Broncos and the Bills at 6-6. Yep, and they jump to 10th. So it goes 9 Broncos, 10 Bengals, 11 Bills. What a job. What a job. And then Jacksonville drops to the 4 seed at 8-4, and only a game in front of Indianapolis and Houston. Gab's gonna wake up happy tomorrow. We could have some chicanery in the AFC South. Jacksonville better wake up. But who knows what quarterback they'll be doing it with. We have not heard anything on Trevor Lawrence and how healthy he is. But the Jaguars now just 1 game up in the AFC South. And the Bengals 1 game out of a playoff spot. It's wild. I mean, just crazy. What a game. How much fun was that? Glad I could stream it with you guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Let's raid you guys out. Why not? Right? Mm. Let's see. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. Might be back for the Thursday night game. We'll see about that. It's gonna probably be a dog of a game, but I love football. I got a problem. I like watching football, and I like talking it with you guys too. So I appreciate everybody for coming through. Gonna rage out to Peach Shortcake. She's playing Liza P. Please say what's up. Be nice. And we will see you guys Thursday, maybe. All right, later, y'all.